it's Christel Joy Johnson of CJoy Yoga, and depending on where you are watching this, you can always get more, much more. I have well over 100 videos online now at patreon.com/CJoy Yoga. Everything I'm putting up right now is free to the public, but if you want to have access to those other videos that I've made and or support a gal, feel free to go to patreon.com and I'll be there. So today's sequence, we are going to go ahead and we're going to start on a chair, and we're actually going to do quite a bit on a chair. Now, if you don't have a folding chair, these are pretty ideal for a number of reasons, but if you don't have one, finding one without arms on it, no wheels, we don't want the chair to be moving around, that's a whole different yoga class, acro chair yoga or something. So you want to find something that is stable, that doesn't have arms on the side of it, because at some point we're going to go into some half standing poses with the use of the chair, right? So we'll want to have a little bit of freedom around that as we move through those poses. So that said, hit pause, get your chair, come on back, and start in again. And for all you people who are like, I don't need chairs to do standing poses, I am an amazing yogi, you'd be surprised what you can learn doing this kind of stuff. And it's still a decent amount of work, quite honestly. So anywho, let's get rolling. I am sitting on the edge of said chair, right? Don't sit all the way back. When you sit back and you've got a back, you usually end up in that rounded position and a whole bunch of muscles turn off and we kind of end up in that slouched position. Not the worst thing ever if you're watching a movie maybe, but right, we want to be in that upright, long posture of the spine at this moment. Now, if it's available to have your feet hip distance, ankles underneath the knees, take that. But for some of my friends, depending on what's going on in your hips, it's a lot to hold it here and your body's already like, whoa, 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 man. So you might simply let the legs come out a little bit, let the toes point the same way as the knees, and you might find a little more freedom and that pelvis might be able to get a little more upright. So if that's where you need to be, awesome, take it. We're gonna be here for a little bit, right? Palms down on the thighs, somewhere where the elbows underneath the shoulders-ish so we don't already round our body forward. With those eyes closed, start to tune into your body. Now, there is a little bit of muscular action to hold you in this upright position, but you don't need your jaw to be clenched. You don't need your tongue at the roof of your mouth. You don't need your eyes to be clenched. Right? You don't need the shoulders up to the ears. So check in to those areas that might be working that are not needed at this point in time. Let them soften. And instead of getting, my shoulders are at my ears again, maybe it's, oh, thank you so much, upper traps, but you get a break right now. Thank you so much, jaw, but actually I don't need you at this moment, but you are strong, you're right. Tune into your breath. Maybe find that soft belly so soft that when you inhale, the belly floats away from the spine. And when you exhale, that belly floats back in towards the spine. And you don't have to use a lot of muscular action. Try and make that happen, right? You're just allowing it. And in softening the physical body as much as we can, and in going into this diaphragmatic breathing, right? Conscious breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, soft belly breath, it has many names. But in going into this, the main thing I'm trying to help you find right now is a soothing to your central nervous system. A lot of us are hypervigilant, high alert, a lot of cortisol in the body, whatever it is in your situation, right? So before we even move further into the practice, let's see if we can't just say, it's okay, central nervous system, I got you, I got you. And you don't have to physically say that. We're doing it with the actions we're taking right now. With your next inhale, go ahead and open the eyes. Reach the arms down by the side. Turn those palms up, and when you turn the palms up, notice how the shoulders soften back and that collarbone broadens, and with an inhale, begin to reach through those arms, reaching them up. It might be lower, depends on your shoulder situation, right? Maybe shoulder distance, but I'm not even going to go there today. Exhale, turning the palms down, bringing those arms back down by the side. Again, turning the palms up and really reaching through those fingers as you bring those arms up. This time you are going to hover at shoulder height. Now these are called your triceps, or your grandma underwings, right? So can your triceps start to rotate towards the front of whatever your situation is right now, right? And does it allow the shoulder blades to drop, the shoulders to drop away from the ears, and the neck have a little more freedom? Now try to keep that. Inhale up, whatever that next level for you is. Keep reaching through the fingertips like crazy. The palms are still turned up. Pause, reach even further. Keep your inner shoulders soft, your jaw and tongue soft. And bring those arms all the way out and down. Bring the palms onto the thighs and pause. Close the eyes. Notice the upper body. Moving into a twist. You'll bring your left hand to your outer right knee, right fingertips behind you. They can even grab onto the chair depending on your chair situation, or they would just come onto the base, either one, right? From there, go ahead and take an inhale and lengthen the spine, and then with an exhale, you'll start to turn towards your right, starting at the middle back kidney band area, going up one vertebrae at a time like a spiral staircase, right? If you have that chair, you can use it as a little bit of leverage. You'll notice I turned my palm up just so I get that beautiful shoulder blade down the back, or I turned it out away from me is more accurate. But whatever works for you. Maybe it's just right here, maybe it's right here. And turn the body forward. We're just waking up the spinal column right now. And moving towards the other direction, you'll bring your right hand outside of your left leg, left fingertips back on the chair, the side of the chair, all the way back, whatever's comfortable. Don't have it too high, you don't want that shoulder cranking, right? And then go ahead and take an inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale from the kidney band, one vertebrae at a time. Turn that into your twist. And breathe. We have changed the shape of the lungs by twisting them just a little bit anyway. So it's a little harder to get a breath than when we're doing soft belly breath, but we can usually still get a pretty good breath. Turn the body forward. I want a blanket so I can move all over Tarnation like I like to do. Now we're going to go into cat-cow. So your hands can come onto your knees, right? And on an inhale, I want you to go ahead and I want you to let that belly pull all the way back like you were going to go back and touch the back of your chair. Head can bow in softly. And then exhale, shoulder blades move down the back, and we allow that chest to move forward and up. And because the upper back moves in, we might even gaze up without hurting our neck. And pulling that belly back, rounding. I'll show you the side view. It's cat-cow in a chair. And inhale, and this would be cow pose. And moving back into your cat. And moving forward into cow. And we come to a neutral spine. Next, you're going to go ahead and we're going to go into a side bend. So we're going to hit all 6 motions of the spine right off the bat. Your right fingertips can just grab the side of the chair. Bring that left arm forward and up. And you know that tricep I talked about earlier? Rotate that into the face as much as you can in your body. It's almost like I was turning my palm to the back of the room, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reach out, lengthen out of that left side waist, leaning over to the right. Now I'm not trying to get down or get anywhere. I'm just trying to move these 2 pieces away from each other. And then that spine, the left side of your spinal column right now is getting a really beautiful opening, and the right side of your spinal column is getting a little compression. Inhale, come on up, bring that arm down. Compression doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It can squeeze old fluid, old things, toxins out, and then open up and bring new stuff in. Go ahead and grab with the left hand, bring the right arm forward and up. And again, we're going to keep that hip bone down, that buttocks bone. We're going to lengthen out, 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 rotating that tricep in towards the face, moving into a side bend. The ribs love to roll down, the top ribs, so we're going to keep those right ribs rolling up. And inhale, bring that all the way up. Okay, so from there we got one more stretch, and then we're going to move into some of our standing poses. So I'm going to come back just so I'm ready for the standing poses from here. If you have something sticking out, you can always put your blanket, your chair on it so it doesn't move. That's another little protective thing. You're going to go ahead and, if it's available in your body, the right ankle on the left knee. If it's not available, you might simply hold it a little in front of your leg. Again, I'm making these for so many different people. I want to make them accessible to everybody. Go ahead and flex that foot. And inhale, you remember that cow pose that we did? Inhale and come into a baby cow. And then from there, try to keep as much of that cow action as you can, even as you start to fold out over the legs, just inviting that right gluteal area into a stretch. Saying hello, body. I don't know about all y'all, but I have been sitting way more than I ever do, and my body is getting kind of mad about it. Inhale and come on up. This is one of the areas. Go ahead and bring that down. Bringing that left leg up. And again, remembering that you can always hold that leg a little in front, or you could even put it on an object in front of you, right? If that makes it accessible. So from there, go ahead and inhale, move into that cow posture where you're letting the chest lift and the upper rim of the pelvis is moving in, and then try to maintain as much of that as you can as you start to move on in. And notice, one side is probably quite a bit tighter than the other. This is common. Right? We have very asymmetrical bodies, most of us. Inhale and bringing that back up. Let's release that leg down and let's start to move into some of our chair standing poses. So, we're going to go ahead and bring that right leg out to the right. And again, if you have a mat, you can be on the edge of the mat so that you can be stable and not have the chair move, but also so your feet have something to rest upon. Now, you might be fine with just this and feeling that inner groin, right? And you might work the next piece from here. You might start to wander, and I'm going to move my buttocks back so that the left buttocks is on the edge of that chair, and then I'm going to step that left foot back, right? Approximately front heel in line with that back arch, but that does not have to be exact. I am sitting on the chair, so the chair is bearing my weight at the moment. I'm going to root that back outer heel down, that left heel, and really activate this left thigh. Now, do you see what my body wants to do? It wants to dump down, right? So I'm going to try and pick this right hip point up off of that right thigh as I cut this hip in a little bit, this left hip. And that might be plenty for you, right? Maybe you inhale those arms up. Again, turn the palms up like we did in the beginning. Turn, rotate those triceps forward, shoulders down, soft neck. Reach fingertip to fingertip. Now try to keep your upper arms exactly as they are as you rotate from your forearm to turn your palms back down. Reaching fingertip to fingertip still. Root down into your feet. Root down into your feet so much that you're going to almost lift off the chair. Like I want you to push down so much it's almost like you're not using that chair, and yet it's just right there just to grab you a little bit and give you an extra support system. Maybe turn the head and look over the right fingertips. Take an inhale. And bringing the hands down. Let's release that back leg forward first. I like to lean away from it to get it forward. And then bring that right leg back to neutral. And pause. Notice anything happening anywhere in the body, but probably feeling some good juju down here. Some energy flowing. Now, I'm going to have us do this first this time. Let's move our right buttocks to the edge of the chair. And then we're going to walk that left foot over. You can just go toe heel, or you can pick it up and set it. All of it's on the table. It all works really beautifully. And then I'm going to maybe just work from here and feel that groin. And then you would do everything else we do from this place. Yeah? Maybe this back leg, this right leg, starts to reach back, right behind me. I try to get the heel to kick further back, so I'm trying to get, about a 90 degree on that back foot angle. My ankle's underneath my knee-ish, my heel's in line-ish with my arch, but you know, different bodies need different things. So these are all possibilities. Now notice that the body wants to go, boo, so bad, right? So I'm gonna pull this left hip point up, even as I try to drop this right hip in, and I'm gonna see if I can get that long spine straight up out of this. Inhale the arms out, turn the palms up, rotating the triceps, softening the shoulders, long neck, long spine. From my forearm, I turn my palms back down. Right? Maybe turning the head to look out over those left fingertips. And again, I'm going to root down in my feet so much that I almost lift myself entirely off the chair, but I actually don't want you to. I want you to keep, because right now you have about a 90 in that leg, right? So keep the 90 degree, but activate the feet down as if you were going to lift out of the chair, and you just probably felt a little action in the thighs and the pelvic floor. Take an inhale, and go ahead and release back down, full weight in the chair. Let's bring that back leg in first. Again, I like to lean away from the leg and just bend it and bring it forward, and then you can toe heel or whatever you need to do on that left leg. Then pause. So again, if you've never tried doing standing poses in the chair, welcome. I actually really like this as a study in the body quite a lot. It gives me a lot of information about my pelvis, where my feet want to push, different things, right? But also, ooh, I don't know about you, but I am still getting a beautiful opening, right? Okay, we're going to add on. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring the buttocks to that left buttocks to the left corner of the chair. Right leg's going to stay over. I might just work from right here. I might step that leg back and try to reach my heel further away from me than my toes if I can. I'm going to try and neutralize that pelvis as much as I can. By the way, you could always, if you're a tall get, put something on the chair to bring everything up just a little bit. I'm not very tall, right? Inhale those arms out. Turn the palms up to find that upper back and neck. Turn the palms back down. Now you're going to reach and lengthen and place that right arm on the right leg. Now go ahead and turn that palm up and bring that all the way over towards side angle. That tricep now rotate in towards the face. It's still external rotation technically in anatomy, right? But it's a little different because now it's in a different position. It's like, wait a second, triceps still rotating in towards the face. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Reach that back heel down like the Dickens. And again, activate into your feet. Push into all four corners of both feet so much. It's almost like you're going to come up off of that chair and lengthen. And inhale, bringing that back up. Before you come all the way up, you can lean away from that back leg, your left leg, to bring the left leg forward. And then go toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Pause. Buttocks, right buttocks on right edge of chair. Walk the left foot over. Maybe working from right here. Maybe that right leg begins to extend back behind you, heel even further away from you than your toes. Try to neutralize the pelvis. Inhale the arms out. Turn the palms up and find that beautiful opening, and then turning the palms back down. Right? Lengthening the inner groin, and then lengthen out over. Left arm on left leg. Turn the right palm up and reach that over. Again, I want you to work from the tricep today. Tricep rotating into the face. And even as that happens, that right heel is rooting down. Now for our last big woo, push down into all four corners of both feet like you're going to lift out of that chair. Get all the legs around the upper legs and the pelvic floor active, right? Root down like you're coming out of the chair. Take an inhale and full weight back in the chair, inhaling the body up. Before you come up too far, lean away from the leg to bring the right leg forward, and then bring that left leg over. Pause. Notice the body. Releasing tongue and jaw and shoulders and anywhere that likes to hold tension for you. Pardon me, but I had started a stopwatch that I want to see how far I'm into the video. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to do one more standing pose, but instead of being seated in the chair, we're actually going to do it from standing and utilize the chair. Triangle, right? So you'll have that chair on the front edge or pushing it forward, so you still have the mat, but I'm going to have the back edge of the chair closest to my body. And just so you see the shape of it before we go in, right, we'll step the legs out like we would for our standing poses. We'll turn the legs out, so similar to what we just did, except we're not on the chair anymore. That front leg is going to stay straight, and the reason I'm showing you this angle is because when you come down, I would love that top hand to come onto the chair, and I'll show you again in another angle if this isn't making sense, right? And I'm going to push into the chair to try to roll my shoulder open and to try to suck that right hip into my socket, right? So that chair is going to help me. And then once I get all situated, I might reach that arm up, but I'm hesitant to even give you that because as soon as I give people the thing that they're so used to doing that they think is the way to do it, they lose everything else that they just could have found using the chair, right? So from the front, it'll look something like this, and I'll talk you in a hot second. Again, I'm going to push into my top hand into that chair in order to lift my shoulder and suck my right hip into the socket, and then I may or may not extend my arm. So have the chair a little bit to the right side. If I'm going to mirror you, that would be over here. Go ahead and step those feet out nice and wide. You can always move the chair as well once you're in. We're going to turn our left toes in and our whole right leg out. And this time our legs are pretty straight, but any of my hyperextension friends, remember you can always take a micro bend. I'm not going to talk about hyperextension, that's not how I normally like to work, but it will at least keep you safe since I'm not focusing on it. Yeah? Pull your kneecap up. Inhale the arms out wide. And then as you move that right hip back, you're going to lengthen the right arm out and bring the right hand down. By the way, if you want to bring it on the bottom of the chair, you can always do that, yeah? Now bring your left hand down onto the chair. Please use the chair. Play with it. It's here. Let's play with it. I'm going to push into this chair with my left hand to roll my left shoulder up. Now, in addition to that, lengthen the right side waist and suck the right hip into the socket, yeah? And then from there, if you want to stay right here and keep working with that pressure, right, you might even turn the head, shoulders soften away from ears. You might reach the right arm up, but today you might use the chair because it's there and you can't, and you might not lift the arm up at all. Root that back left heel down and see if you can't get even longer, crown of the head reaching away from that pressure. And feel that in your maybe, you might feel it in a lot of places. Most folks feel it in their right inner groin and in the left back of the, we'll say the love handle, a little behind the love handle. Inhale up. Ooh. Turn the toes forward. Maybe moving that chair over if you need it so it's in the position you can get to better. Easier. Go ahead and turn your right toes in and pull left leg out. Inhale the arms out wide. Pull that left kneecap up or micro bend if you're a hyperextender. Go ahead and move your left hip back as you lengthen that arm forward, bringing the left hand to the leg or to the base of the chair, bringing the right hand most definitely onto the chair. Stay here, play with me, right? You're going to push into that hand in order to lift and roll the right shoulder up. Even come up just a little bit and see if you can't hug your left hip in more. Now once you got all that going on, maybe you sink that, maybe the left fingers kind of glide down a little bit, but don't let that left hip go out behind you to do that. And maybe lift the arm up, but today maybe you keep pushing into that chair and using the benefit of the chair, right? It's a different pose when we can use that chair and find this. It's not the end-all be-all to lift your hand up, right? I can teach each pose probably, 50 different ways depending on what we're looking for. I'm hoping you're feeling your left inner groin and that right back side waist like crazy. And inhale, come all the way up. You can push off of that chair. Turn the toes forward and then go toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Bring those feet in and pause for just a moment. Now we're going to do one more crazy thing with the use of the chair. I did not tell you at the beginning of this sequence to grab a blanket, and I apologize. So you might need to hit pause to do it, but you're going to want to push in the back edge of your chair for where we're about to go. We're going to do downward dog. a version of with the assist of the chair. So it goes something like this, and I think we can do it together. So get yourself set up into this point, right? And I'm going to turn my mat just so you can see me folding over the chair. And something soft on the back of that chair so that you're not going to hurt your hips on the way down. Now I'm going to walk my feet out wide. How wide, Christel Joy? Totally depends on body proportion in your chair. You want that chair to be right at the hinge of the hips. Most all y'all, I've grabbed you at some point in time on the top of your hips when you're in downward dog, and I've pulled those back. That's where we want the chair to go, yeah? And then your feet are about in line with the back of that chair. Well, this depends on your chair that you're using, so I'm not even going to say that, right? Meaning you don't want them back behind you. You're not leaning into the chair. You want them solidly underneath you. Now, from there, we're going to push into the back of the chair. We're going to lengthen our spine. Now, we're going to use that chair. We don't back away from the chair. We stay on it. We fold out over the chair when we come to the back of the chair. This might be plenty, right? Root down into your feet, all four corners, and get those thighs turned on. Thighs moving behind you as the chest reaches forward. Opposition almost always, yeah? And then maybe you fold a little further. And maybe you come down to the back edges of your chair. Maybe your fingertips can reach out to the ground. You can tell I'm a little bit of a shorty here, right? I gotta readjust up the hips there. So I would grab blocks, but I'm trying to use as few props as possible because I know most all y'all don't have them at home. So instead I'm gonna come onto the back edge of my chair, and I'm just gonna lengthen my spine like crazy as I root my feet down, right? And take a couple of breaths, just getting that length. So your arms don't have to work. That's the beauty of this one, right? And Miss Hollian, forgot to address it at the beginning, I apologize. I'm gonna have you just stay up with your head the height of your heart, right? But you still are working all of the same actions, and this way you get to do a downward dog without that, without your head lower. And that's anyone else who that sounds like that would be a great modification for. And from there, hands on the back of the chair and come on up. Hands on the right by where your hips are to come up the rest of the way. Now you can go ahead and you can move those items out of the way. I'm going to turn my mat one more time so that it faces towards the camera. And then go ahead and come all the way down onto your buttocks. Remember, if you need to sit up on something, you have probably many things of that nature around your house. Be inventive, be creative, right? Maybe a blanket or a pillow, something with hopefully a little bit of substance so it doesn't just like a feather pillow, probably not going to be your best friend because you're just going to walk down into it, right? So, the legs wide, whatever that means in your body. So you're in a similar pose just now, right? Just pointing that out. And then you're going to bring your hands in front of you, pretend you're on the chair, right? If you push in that chair, can you lengthen your spine? Keep pushing your feet into imaginary floors like we just did on the chair. Feel the inner groin, the inner knees, inner groin and the thighs pull up. And then maybe you start to fold a little further forward, but maybe you don't. We're going to walk hands out like downward dog arms today since we just played with that line. And just whatever that is to you in your body. Now, we're going to get a little downward dog arm work here. What does that mean? Push down your index finger and your thumb so my palms are squarely on the floor, right? And as I push down on my index finger and thumb, hopefully I feel my bicep line start to lengthen and turn on. Now keep that, but can you equally push down into that pinky edge, that outer part of the hand, and feel how that lengthens the tricep line? Yeah? Pushing a little forward so your buttocks bones move back down to the ground. Take an inhale. And exhale. So we're not rounding today, yeah? Inhale, walking the hands back, bringing the body up. Let's go ahead and grab the inner knees to bring the soles of the feet together. Let's say hi to those inner groin again, right? This might be outer hip for you. For me, it's usually more outer hip. Now, if you can grab your ankles, otherwise, you could always be up on a block or up on a little ledge so that you can get a little taller, and your fingers might just stay behind you, right? And you might work that little cow tilt of the pelvis. Some of my friends, you might start to fold into this when you can soften the spine. So I'm going to work from seated And I'll show you why, not that you need to know, but I think we're just like, oh, well, it's gotta be folded forward, that's what everybody does. When I fold forward, my spine really wants to move behind me, and it's not actually as beneficial in my hip joint as if this hand's kind of in the way. If I can actually start to play with this movement of my spine moving in, that's where I start to feel the benefit in my particular hip. So I do the forward fold every once in a while, but if I really want to work through my outer hip tightness, this one is usually the one that does it more for me. So play with that. What is it in your body that needs an opening? And maybe it's different from one day to the next. What is beneficial? Right? And if I do this next thing, I like to say at what expense. And expense doesn't have to mean it's a bad thing, but if when you round forward, everything gets lost behind you and everything's poking out that way, is that more beneficial? I don't know. Let those legs come on forward. You're in your body. Hopefully you're actually listening to your body and not just telling your body what you think it should do. With your legs out in front of you, we're going to get nice and tall. And maybe we start that fold, right? Again, if you fold, make sure the spine starts nice and long. Just at the beginning, your knees can totally be bent. You can be sitting on height. And then when you're like, oh, is this a hamstring stretch? You might start to fold in and soften in. Again, today personally, I'm going to stay up a little bit and pull that upper middle pelvis in. From all of this sitting I've been doing lately, I've been noticing it in a couple areas, but my back is in that rounded position a lot during the day, and so I'm realizing when I do my practice that not rounding my back as much in my yoga practice at this moment in time, just at this moment in time, is more beneficial for me. Inhale the chest forward and bring that up. Okay, so now we go down onto our backs, but I'm going to torture you a little bit on the way down. You can just lay down on your back if you're like, no, I will not take your torture, Christel Joy Johnson, no more. Shoulder blades down the back, try to find a long spine. Go ahead and push through the ball mounds of the big toes, right? See if you can squeeze into that imaginary block between your thighs, and you might reach the arms forward. We're not rolling down yet. Inhale. On an exhale, come down about 2 inches maybe. And breathe. Move into that imaginary block, push down through the ball mounds of the toes. Inhale. And exhale, come down a little further. Now my low back is starting to round, but I'm going to try and keep my chest reaching forward as much as I can, right? So it's not a rigid, we don't want to hurt our back. We want to actually round slowly, but start at your low back. Pausing. Push through the ball mounds of the big toes. Right? Move into your imaginary block. Last one. Exhale slowly all the way to the earth. Oh my gosh, that was so hard. Go ahead and plug those knees in. Now let's let the spine round a little bit. Maybe rocking from right to left. If you have herniating or bulging discs, I would not suggest rounding your low back at all. Not without your permission from your doctor anyway. And coming back to neutral, let's take it into a twist. TD arms out, inhale. Exhale the knees over to the right. Head might turn to the left. Pause. Breathe. What's tight that doesn't need to be. Inhale up. Exhaling the knees over to the left. Turning the head to the right. Pausing and breathing. Noticing maybe some parts of your body are talking. It doesn't have to mean pain, right, or spasms. It doesn't have to be a huge talking. That's more like screaming. Inhale, legs up, feet on the ground. Bring those arms down, shoulder blades down back just a little bit. Arms out, those palms up. Arms extended. I'm just going to say it because we work with the triceps today. It's not that I want your palms to turn up. It is a really simple, easy version of how I can get your triceps to rotate, right? So when I say turn the palms up, or any teacher does, most of them don't know this is why they say it, but when you do that, it's because then your upper arm bone, your humerus bone, goes into external rotation, and you get a broad collarbone, right? So from that place, with that broad collarbone, start to relax the physical body. With that soft body, just let the breath become its natural rhythm, its natural breathing, but then we do use this technique of bringing our mind to our breath. It's a mindfulness technique, right? And as we bring our mind to our breath and we pay attention to our breath, we start to train our brain that every time we have a thought, we can let go of the thought and come back to the breath. And that was really hard for me in the beginning to do that. I had a really hard time letting go of thoughts. But again, it's neurological patterning, right? And the more we practice it, the more we start to fire certain neurons. And the more we fire them, the more there becomes a functional pathway. This is kind of the basis of neuroplasticity, right? And you'll have another thought come in. And again, can you let it go? Can you bring your mind back to observing your breath? Not controlling it, but observing. So everyone has their own path. I share mine not because mine is the right way. It's just so that you know you're not alone, right? When I started meditation, I thought I sucked because my mind was so busy, and I didn't do it for years and years and years. I avoided it because I thought I was so terrible and I was so frustrated. Because if I'm not good at something immediately, I don't want to do it. So that's a whole other situation. And then I started to meditate. 5 minutes, 3 days a week. My mind would still go off all over tarnation, right? And so I'd bring it back to the breath. But in the beginning, I totally controlled my breath. It was almost more like I was doing pranayama, breathing exercises, or breath work, than I was doing meditation. And then after doing that for many, I don't know, it was a couple of years, finally I was able to get to the point where I could just observe. I could let my breath be its natural rhythm and just observe my breath. So these things take time. And they take practice. And I like to remind people, if your brain has been patterned and functioned in one way, right, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's probably going to take more than 2 5-minute meditations for that pattern to change. Bring your awareness back to your breath. to the fetal position. You might pause there and take a breath. And then go ahead and you're going to push the floor away with that top hand and come on up to seated. And since that chair probably isn't too far away, you might maybe consider just sitting in the chair. It's easier for most folks to not be in this pattern that they're in when they're on the ground. And even when they're cross-legged and they're working all kinds of muscles and there's so much getting triggered and all kinds of things, right? Not in a bad way, but there can be, for many of us, more ease at sitting up. Neutral pelvis, long spine from this position. So since the chair is there, again, why not utilize it? Try it. Just try it. Be open-minded. This time, maybe turn the palms up and bring your awareness right into the palms of your hands. And see if you can't feel a little bit of energy movement there. And that doesn't have to be a woo-woo thing. We all have an electromagnetic field outside of our body, about 18 inches around our body. And often, by the end of practice, we're in a pretty receptive state and we can feel that energy, our energy, in the palms of our hands. And if you can't feel it, don't worry about it. Softening any muscles that got tense that you don't need. Bring those beautiful energetic hands together in front of your chest. Take a big ol' inhale. Exhale, bowing your head in towards your heart. And beautiful, beautiful bodies. Let's take a moment of gratitude for these beautiful, beautiful bodies. There is a lot going on in this world right now. They are doing their best to keep us safe. And although we appreciate that, right, what can we do to assist so they don't have to be so hyper vigilant right now, so they don't have to have cortisol running through them? You just did something. Taking this class hopefully was helpful in that way. Inhale. With an exhale, bow the head. And taking just a moment. And again, just remembering your body is trying to keep itself well. Right? So instead of having that relationship with your body where you're pissed at it, or my hip this, and I have MS, or I have, lung cancer, I have whatever I know so many people with so many things going on right now. Your body is trying its best to heal that. So imagine that you are on the same team and you're both trying to figure out how to keep yourself as healthy as you can. Namaste, friends. And I think I had you bow in twice, but hey,